Hello everybody, hope you're having a fantastic day. Thought I'd ask a question. Do you think bus drivers suffer from stress? No, seriously, do you think we actually suffer from stress? Well, let me see. If you take the words bus driver and the word stress and put them together, what do you get? I mean, just think about the letters, you know what I mean? There you go, look at that. Bus driver and stress. It's related, as you can see. Bus driver and stress. It's all related. Apart from the letter T, as you can see. But no, bus drivers are very stressed out. You got to be crazy to do this job sometimes, honestly. Oh, dearie me. You know what I mean? We are stressed out. Oh, honestly, just got to take it easy sometimes. Oh, some days can be too much, you know. Just gotta make sure your head's sorted. You're all right. As long as that's all right, then you're okay. No. I know drivers who have booked off because they're stressed out. They just sometimes can't take it. I know one driver, I think it was a Polish driver, it was about 5 years ago when I first started driving in London, and I remember that I was told while I was learning the routes that one driver just pulled over and he just got out and left his bus right there with his passengers on and just walked away. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, you know, it was a Polish driver. I mean, I'm Polish, you know, I'm Polish English, but he was Polish and he just couldn't really admit. I don't think he could speak the language too well, but he just, if you can't speak English too well, then you're going to have serious problems. But I can understand the job can be too much sometimes. I mean, it can absolutely drive you crazy. Honestly, it's just stress. Yeah, and it's even in the paper. Look at that, bus driver. There's a report here, obviously about stressed out bus drivers. And honestly, I could talk a lot about this subject. Now, it says here, bus companies must put safety before punctuality to save lives. Well, I'm always taught that in training. It's always about health and safety. It doesn't matter if you're running late or whatever, you can't run early, but just take it nice and easy, do your job the way you're trained, and it'll be all right. But I know when you're on the road, it's different. It really is. Now, obviously, this report that's in the Evening Standard is called Driven to Distraction. Now, it says here that urgent safety targets should be imposed on bus operators because it says 25 people have been killed in bus fatalities in the past 2 years. That is quite scary. It really is. Honestly, 25 people have been killed here. And it says of the 25 people killed, 2/3 of these were pedestrians. So we're talking about, what, 16, 17 people here were pedestrians. So obviously it's saying that, for TfL, should be revising its bonus scheme for senior staff to bring in a direct link between bus safety and performance-related pay. Now, it says here that it partly blames the deaths on high levels of driver stress. Oh, stress, talk about it. Oh, dear me. Also, tiredness and frequent interruptions from control centre and passengers. Control centre, what's that? Well, obviously, control centre is the iBus, and they're always contacting us, and we need to obviously contact them because we need to maintain a good headway on the road. Basically keep an equal gap between buses so that we can run a nice, smooth service. Now, obviously, we can't answer the radio while we're driving, but we're under a lot of pressure, and basically, when we park up where it's safe to do so. And then we'll obviously have to be in contact with control, with iBus. But obviously, passengers don't like it because they're thinking, hey mate, I'm late. I'm running late, what's going on? You know what I mean? You can't please everyone. Do you know what I mean? It's a very highly stressed job. Now, it says with the current contracts with the bus operators, the existing terms reward drivers for meeting punctuality targets rather than safety ones. I mean, I'm sorry, but lives are more precious than obviously punctuality. You can't replace people. You cannot replace people's lives. Once they've lost, they've gone. Now, it says here, Caroline Pigeon, Deputy Chair of the Transport Committee, says that the Mayor of London incentivises bus operators to meet punctuality targets but not to reduce collisions and injuries. And Caroline says it's an outrage, basically, that the son of a bus driver, yes, the London Mayor is Sadiq Khan, who is actually the son of a bus driver. It says here that the Mayor should recognise and rectify this immediately. But I trust the Mayor, he will do a good job and sort this out, because I know nobody wants to see any more fatalities, no more collisions. I mean, obviously, it costs companies a lot of money. It's awful when people lose their lives. But it says here that obviously the reporter says whether slower journeys and the cost of more drivers. So in other words, if drivers do shorter bus driving shifts and have longer breaks, then basically it is worth it to instill a culture of safety. Well, for me it makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I'd like to have an hour's break instead of 40 minutes, because sometimes you take 5 minutes to go to where you got to go, the canteen, if you have a canteen, or just to go somewhere to eat, and then 5 minutes to walk back. So it's half an hour. It's not enough. You need a good hour for your lunch break. Obviously it says it found the job basically involves frequent distractions from the control centre and from passengers. As I've said, passengers and the control centre constantly are distracting us. We've got a job to do. Obviously tube drivers, they're in their cab, train drivers, blah blah blah, but bus drivers, we're constantly facing the public. There's just too much stress to deal with at times. Honestly, 90 people you got to deal with. Now it says here that obviously drivers have reported stress caused by long shifts, inadequate breaks and irregular shift patterns, because we're working all hours of the day. And we're eating at different times of the day, sleeping at different times of the day. We can be doing 7-8 hour shifts, but most of mine are 9.5 to 10.5 hour shifts. I do 11-12 hours sometimes. And I've heard there are some 16-hour shifts at some companies around the UK where you have a 6-hour break. 16 hours? How are you going to spend time with your family? It's crazy, especially if you have to travel to and from work. That could be like an hour there, an hour back. It could be 18-hour days. It's crazy. Something has to be done about this. Now it says there's a lady called Sarah Hope, a victim's consultant. Basically, she was injured in a bus accident where her mother had died and her young daughter lost her leg. That is shocking. And she says there needs to be a call for greater recognition of drivers, basically, who are facing a lot of stress. Now, obviously, Sarah says here there's a huge amount that bus drivers have to deal with. And she believes, basically, that they don't get the respect from their managers that they deserve. And they want the public to be more aware of what they face. I know, I can understand what she's saying here. I know managers are under a lot of stress from their managers. It all starts from the top. We need to have an example from the top. Is the top. Can the government somehow get involved? We need to make sure safety is paramount. Obviously saying here that driving on London's roads requires intense concentration. Intense concentration. Intense, you need to concentrate on the road. No distractions. Obviously, when you're manoeuvring a 12-ton bus, around pedestrians, buggies, cyclists, yes, cyclists go, got to watch out for the cyclists. Up to, as it says here, 87 passengers on board and numerous distractions. Obviously on some buses you can have up to 90. And we have some triple axle double-deckers around the UK. They can carry up to 110, 120 passengers. That's a lot of people that you've got in your hands as a bus driver. Obviously saying here, bus drivers exist in a pressure cooker situation, competition for road space, focusing on making buses run on time, which has created a stressful and tiring working culture for drivers. So obviously, hopefully that TfL will review the way it awards contracts to bus operators and ensure it puts safety as a priority instead of punctuality. A lady called Val Shawcross, Deputy Mayor for the Transport, has said that she welcomes any report that looks at the crucial issue of safety on London streets and will analyse the report's recommendations. Nothing is more important to us than Londoners' safety. That's what she's put. Obviously, safety, we need to have safety as the number one thing. Obviously, it finishes off here saying TfL launched its bus safety programme in February last year, that's 2016, and aims to reduce the number of people killed or seriously injured in or by bus. Basically, that's have to reduce it by 70% by 2022, which is 5 years from now because it's 2017, and for 0 fatalities in 2030. Also wants to improve conditions for bus drivers. Oh, just at the end, a little bit there. Wants to improve conditions for bus drivers, a little sentence. Look, we need to improve bus driver conditions. Please like and share this video. If you want to put a comment, please put a comment. We need to get the message out. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much, everyone. Please have a fantastic day, and just consider the bus driver next time you get on the bus. Just say hello to him or thank you when you get off the bus. He or she will really appreciate it. Have a lovely day, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.